This is the English 2.0 podcast. Communicate globally. Raise your level. Speak English naturally. Hello everyone and welcome to the 28th episode of the English 2.0 podcast. My name is Al. Thank you so much for watching today. Got a great episode for you today. We're going to focus on a more of a success topic or mindset topic today. I know the last few we've done more practical things like how to use movies to learn English and other things like that. So today we're going to go a little bit more into the mindset or success, but I think you're really going to enjoy today's show. First, I wanted to share with you, or check in with you, I should say, on my New Year's goals. And at the New Year, I had said that my goal for the podcast, the English 2.0 podcast, was to get the number one ranking in iTunes in the education language courses category, of course, for video. And some mixed results. We're about, of course, a little bit more than halfway through the year, but I thought I would check in with you. And in our number one market, which is Japan, we are ranked currently, as of the time of this podcast, number 56. So we can do a little bit better there, and I need your help, people, students in Japan. Where are you? I need some comments, ratings inside iTunes, and please subscribe. That really helps podcasts rise in the rankings. So if you can, I would really appreciate that. And now to move on to better news. In Brazil, which is the second largest market for the podcast, I'm happy to say that we've been ranked as high as number 8, and so I really appreciate all of our viewers in Brazil. So thank you so much for that, and let's get up to number 1. We're almost there, just a few more spots to go. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get into today's episode, and today we're going to start with a quick tip, and then we'll get right into today's main topic. So first, check this out, the quick tip, which will help you with your slang and idioms.
All right, in today's English 2.0 quick tip, we have a recommended site from an alsensei.com commenter named Ryo. And Ryo has mentioned and recommended this site to look up slang terms and idioms and just phrases that you're not sure of but may not appear in a regular standard dictionary. So this site is called urbandictionary.com. So right here I'm just on the main page, and they usually have a word or phrase here that they want to introduce. Actually, this one's pretty interesting, from August 30th here, and it's called aberrance, and if you try looking that up in a regular dictionary, it probably won't be there, because it's just a made-up word, which means the act of showing up somewhere because you feel obligated, but only for one beer because you don't want to stay too long. Now, how many people have been in that situation? I have, I'm sure you have too. And here's an example sentence. Ugh, holiday party. Guess I have to go make an appearance. So, of course, appearance coming from the word appearance. Alright, so that's just kind of a funny example. I never knew about that word before. And anyway, you can find that here. Now, if you wanted to search, let's say you are watching a movie, or you talk to a friend and you hear a phrase or word that you've never heard of. Perhaps it could be a text message. When we text, there's a lot of shortened or abbreviated phrases, and there's some that I've never heard of before. So one that came across my Facebook page a while ago was the term bio break, and I never heard of that before, so I had to search it, and I'll just type it in here. Okay, and we'll run that search and see what they say. Alright, so here it does come up, a bio break, and the number one definition is neo-geek terminology for visiting the bathroom, especially when interrupting a meeting, gathering, or workflow. So, basically, using the restroom. So, bio, of course, comes from biology or biological, and then break is just a time you take away from some other activity. So, just be aware that this is a slang site, so you're going to find sometimes clean words, sometimes a bit more colorful or dirty language. So just be aware of that when you come to this site. But good for just checking out a phrase that you're not sure of. So that is a quick tip for today.
All right, in today's main topic, we're going to talk about the power of like minds. All right, so we should start by defining like minds. What do I mean when I say like minds? Well, my definition for the purpose of this podcast basically is any person who shares the same goal as you or has a similar goal to you. All right, so they may have different interests, they might have different hobbies, they might have different political views, religious backgrounds, doesn't matter. For this purpose, we just want to find people that have similar goals to ours. All right. Now, if you're watching this episode, well, and you are a follower of the English 2.0 podcast, I'm going to guess that your goal is to become a better or perhaps an excellent English communicator or English speaker. All right, so anyone out there in the world who shares that same goal or has a similar goal for communication or for English is a like-minded person to you. All right, so judging by the emails that I receive, just looking at the numbers of the people who download the podcast, there are people, the podcast has been downloaded from people in over 160 countries. So these people are out there in the world waiting to connect to you. And so in today's episode, I'd like to try and convince you, if you need any convincing, as to why you should start to connect with these like minds. So as a framework for today's topic, I'd like to give you 3 reasons why you should start connecting to like-minded people who share your same goal. All right, the first one is when you connect to like-minded people, it's like instant motivation. All right, so these people already know what you want to do with your life. They already connect to your dream. You don't have to spend 30 minutes or an hour trying to explain to someone what your dream is or what your goal is. They already know. These people have they've been on the same path as you. They've read the same books. They know the same authors. They've watched the same podcasts. They already know, okay? So when you get together, when you finally connect, it's going to be an instant spark, an instant connection. And you'll be able to feel the energy in that group. Even if it's just 2 of you, you'll be able to feel the energy, and you'll start to feel really, really motivated and really, really powerful. And so this is a huge reason why you should connect to someone that has a similar goal to you. So the second reason why you should connect to like-minded people is that it creates accountability. All right, so what do I mean by accountability? Well, when you share your goal with someone else, well, now they know. And so they can get back to you and check on your progress and try to help you in that way. Okay, so as I recommend, setting a goal with a deadline. Okay, well, when you are getting close to the deadline, or any time before that even, well, this person can check in with you and say, hey, how are you doing on your goal? You're almost to the deadline. Have you stayed, are you progressing as to your schedule or to your plan? So they can check on you. Now, when this person checks on you, that's called accountability. Okay, so you either have to say to them, yes, I'm in line with my plan, I'm right on schedule, right on task, or you have to say, no, I've been busy with other things, I haven't allowed enough time to my goal, I haven't made time, I haven't prioritized time to spend trying to achieve my dreams. And so it's pretty powerful when you have that person that's going to hold you accountable. It kind of feeds back into the motivation. So you want to keep going and stay on progress, stay on check. And so this is a powerful factor for why you should create that relationship. All right, the third reason that I'd like to share today is that when you connect to people with like minds, you're going to share resources. All right, so in the case of our topic, English communication, people are going to introduce new podcasts to you. They're going to introduce perhaps new videos, books. They're going to share with you all of these great things, iPhone apps or any kind of smartphone apps, games, not even that kind of stuff, but just even study techniques, what's worked for them. They're going to share their success stories with you, their failures with you. You can learn from each other. So just sharing these resources, sharing ideas, this is very powerful. People who don't share your goal just cannot do that with you. They don't have access. They've never thought of these things before. So when you connect to people with like minds, hey, they're gonna have these resources and they want to share with you because they have a similar goal. They know where you want to go, and vice versa. You know where they want to go, so you're going to be really excited to share something new with them when you find it. So if this is one of those, please share the English 2.0 podcast. I would love for you to do that. All right, so the next step, the next question I bet that you're thinking is, Al, how do we find these people? How do we, once we meet, how do we communicate? How do we, conduct these meetings, or how do we do it? All right. Well, there are a number of ways. I'm going to mention, again, 3 here as kind of the theme to this episode, and number 3. The first thing is through social media. All right, so again, Facebook comes to mind, Twitter, any of those, but I'll stick to Facebook for this tip. And we'll start with suggesting the English 2.0 community. And you can find that at facebook.com/speaknaturaleNglish. At the time of this recording or this episode, we've got about 1,500 fans there. So 1,500 people from around the world that you can connect to instantly that way. You can go to other fan sites with many more fans than ours. I would just, off the top of my head, I would suggest Happy English with Michael. They've got several thousand fans there, people you can connect with. English teacher Melanie, who you've heard on the podcast before. You've heard Michael as well, but English teacher Melanie, she's got over, as last time I checked, 500,000 fans there. So those are just a couple of Facebook pages that I would recommend joining. You can connect to people there. The second way I would suggest connecting to people with like minds is through online forums. Okay, so you are probably very familiar with forums. You've probably you might be part of some already for other topics. I like to look at travel forums. One of my favorite travel forums is called flyertalk.com. It's very, it has a lot of good tips people share there. There's several forums out there that can be very helpful. To be honest, I don't participate in any English speaking forums at the moment, but I just did a quick search on Google. I just advise you to do the same. I just searched English speaking forums, and it brought up a list. Just a couple of ones that I remembered seeing are lingq.com, lingq.com. Another one is talkenglish.com. So again, I can't tell you about the quality of those, but they're certainly part of that resource. So check out English speaking forums, and that's a great way to connect to people. All right, the final way I would suggest connecting to people is through mastermind groups. All right, what is a mastermind group? Okay, so once you've met people that you have connected with, you've shared your goals, you have similar goals, how do you conduct a meeting, for example? Okay, so a mastermind group is the idea that, you get together. It could be, of course, face-to-face, in person. It could be online. It doesn't really matter. You can use Skype. You can use Google Hangouts. The most important thing is just to connect somehow. And when you meet live, face-to-face, or even on the webcam, it's very powerful. You talk to that person or that group live at that moment. Okay, so you can have even just a simple discussion. Just share your experiences, share your dreams, share your goals, share what works, share what you have failed on. Okay, this is all very valuable to other people. You might think that your experience is just not worth much at all. It's worth a lot, I'm telling you. People want to connect to you. People want to hear your story. Okay, so as you want to hear other people's stories, you want to connect to other people. So I would suggest using meetup.com, as I have before. That's a great way to find people. Again, through the forums as well. I noticed just a quick, when I went into some of the forums, I noticed a lot of people were sharing their Skype usernames. So again, you just have to go out there and meet the people that you want to connect to. Hold a mastermind meeting, share your experiences, and I think it's a great way to really find success quickly. All right, with any topic, but in this case, English. All right, well, one last note about this topic is that, of course, as we have just talked about, it is very good to connect to people with like minds. I think it's also wise to examine the other side of the coin, which is people who don't share your goal, and in fact, people who will bring you down because of your goal. Okay, maybe they just don't like it for some reason, or they're not supportive of you. And I think it's really wise to start examining these people in your life and start to question the amount of time these people have in your life. And I go into this topic in much greater depth, and that is a members only podcast. So if you're interested in that topic, I would advise you to go ahead and sign up for the English 2.0 members area. And you can do that by going to alsensei.com/join. All right, so those are my ideas on connecting to people with similar goals, the power of like minds. So I think you've got a lot of action steps there. So go ahead and connect to those people. Let me know how it goes. Send me an email, ask@alsensei.com. Of course, if you have any questions, shoot it there as well. And I wish you the best. The world is available to you right now. The world is not waiting for you. It's moving fast. Jump in, connect, and succeed. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe in iTunes and leave a rating and a comment. I would love to hear from you there. And I will catch you on the next episode. Take care.